Welcome to the Response EPOS system powered by Norcon computers and ICR Touch. This is the main screen menu that you'll see on our tills. So now if we just go into the sales mode, it's now what all operators will see. We will sign on as a normal operator. Each operator will have their own sign-on code. The system is set up to customize by each individual shop. You'll see on the top right hand corner a series of buttons. These will be specific to your operation. So for instance, if I want to sell a stamp, behind that button we've got two other buttons. One is a first class stamp and a second class stamp. Obviously we can have ones for large letters and second class large letters as well. Other buttons will either ask for a price or will be specific to a product. So for instance, if I go into alcohol, obviously because it is alcohol, it will ask me if the customer is over 18. I'm assuming that he is, and then it will ask me how much I'm selling the items for, and that goes on to the sale. To cash it off, it's the normal denomination keys. You'll see them down here. If they give you cash, you can put those in. If they give you the exact amount of money, you can put £6.19 cash. You can even deal with vouchers, or obviously if they pay by debit or credit card. So in this particular occasion, if I do £10, it tells me that they need £3.81 change, and obviously the cash drawer would open and you'd be expected to give that customer the change. Our system is web-based, so all our products are on the internet. If you happen to scan an item that's not on your system, so for here I'm just scanning these chewing gum, alright, it then picks them up from the internet, and all you've got to do is decide what title you want to call them, and then you've got to put in how much you want to sell them for, and then tell them what department they belong to, whether it's a stock product, and whether it's VAT or not. Okay, so therefore now if I just scan again, you can see that it's on the system, and then I can pay them off. Obviously when the sale is completed, there are denomination keys, or you can put the amount in, the exact amount that the customer has given you, or just press cash. So there you can see that there is £13.21 change. If we now look at news account payments, if you have news accounts on your system, we have a new search. You can search for any section of the customer's address or surname. The names are listed. You pick out a name. On the top left hand side you'll see that it's balance to last Saturday, balance to next Saturday, and if the customer had an invoice there would also be the last bill. So if we now pay that account, again you've got those choices. Pick the choice you want, or you can have an open amount, and then again it just becomes a normal transaction on the account. Again, if you pay it off, then the customer also gets a receipt. You'll have heard the noise, and I'll show you that receipt in a second. If we can now look at the functions buttons. Okay, if you want to discount anything, mark down anything, price inquiry, etc., etc. Now if I just happen to if I need to void anything, you can void an item. So what you do is you click on the item and then click void item. That disappears. If you click void transaction, it voids the whole transaction. Right, from the main menu, if you want to refund anything, you click on the refund button. Again, you scan the item or pick the item out, and then you just till it off. And what the till expects you to do is take £2 out of the cash drawer and give it to the customer. Go back to the home menu. So if we now do the end of day button, okay, you can have X read and Z read modes. And we have 3 period reports. Obviously the red button is just for Z reading, but you can do period reports, which for example a period 1 could be a week, period 2 could be a month, and period 3 could be a quarter, but they're entirely up to you. Inline reports are exactly the same, but it means if you have more than one till. So if we just do a Z reading, and that's the end of the day for Z reading. This is the Z read that we've just taken from the till. and you can see all the transactions and all the department information and all the financial information for that day. And this is also the receipt for the news payment, and you can see that it tells you what the account is, how much they've paid and when they've paid to, and the mode of their payment. Just for completeness, this is the back of the till unit, so this is what the customer will see. You can see that when there are transactions it gets recorded, and you can put adverts on there. On this particular one we've got the shop front and an advert informing people that they do deliveries. Obviously these adverts can be anything you want. As with much of the system, we can customize it to suit your needs.